Hello, hello. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Yes, Make It Monday this week is on a Tuesday. No cheers or kudos for me this week. We were having a little too much fun with some St. Patrick's Day shenanigans over in the Twist and Dabs group. Um, we were hanging out with the Ritas and we got a little carried away because the new catalog became available to demonstrators for us to browse through, take a sneak peek. As many of you know, on stage, you've probably seen a lot of photos from people at convention. That was happening last week, so it also tied into the launch of the new catalog. Hey Kim, hey Sue. So here we are today on a Tuesday creating some super cute things. I'm having just a little bit of fun with a few things. So I'm hoping when I say fun, I'm having fun in my mind of some things that I want to create tonight. Hey Cheryl, hey Kathy. Wanting to focus this week on rainbows. So that's what all my posts will be about. But hopefully you get to see all the beautiful things first. That's what I love about the Heart Stampers group. This is a private VIP group for people who support my business. So whether you're a team member, whether you're a customer, whether you're someone who's just attended one or two classes, you get the perk of being a VIP or a heart stamper is what I like to call it. And so of all those projects that I share, you actually get the how-to and get to see my process as I work through it. And as most of you know, this is something that I just do on the whim to fit it in my lifestyle. It's like my only night of crafting. Well, the Monday is. Tuesday is supposed to be my free night to do laundry and stuff. So sometimes when I don't make it on Monday, it kind of eats into laundry. So I don't know where I'll have to get up extra early in the morning to get my laundry done. But that's okay. It's so worth it. I love to make sure that this gets done. Some other things that are happening is I think I posted in the bingo group. I know I shared it in Heart Stampers, but birthday bingo, where we celebrate everyone's bingo, is coming up. And I was thinking of doing the book club book, but I also want to kind of see what the online exclusives are. Like, I don't know if they're part of our sneak peek this week or if I have to wait till the 25th. I have a funny feeling I have to wait till the 25th to order. So I'm hoping by the end of the month, I'll be able to kind of put more of a selection. But because it's birthday month, I want us all to pick our own product. So I'll put some suggestions there just to kind of make it easier. And the idea is that they'll fit into the bingo bag. I'm really excited because I found something 2 weeks ago. It's driving my family nuts because it's upstairs, but I can't wait to kind of show everyone or give everyone this fun little thing that I found as part of their bingo bag. What else? Our month end is coming, so we are having catch-up month. Catch-up month is always the last Friday of the month leading into the Saturday of the following month. And I just realized I didn't actually look to see what that date is. And it is March 28th and March 29th. So if you're around, just message me. I have room for ideally 4 people, but I can make room for up to 2 more. And what that is you can come Friday night, bring whatever you want to work on to catch up, starting at 7 o'clock, and stay as late as 2 a.m. You can come back the next morning at 7 a.m. and we will craft away. Now, it's only a Friday, Saturday thing because I do help Kira Sunday mornings, but hopefully that's enough time to get things done, like 7 in the morning until 2 a.m. on the Saturday. Like, that's a full day, and we'll work together to, like, do a potluck or something. There's no cost, but I'm also not feeding you or anything. So it's just bring your stuff, come, bring your snacks, bring your lunch, do whatever, and get caught up. So hopefully I'll see some of you this month. Hey, Sherry, welcome. That's that. And then just a little update on our meant to be retreat. We just had that this past weekend. Give me a buzz. Put a B in the comments if you were at the retreat. I thought it was super fun. In fact, I'm trying to decide if this is one of my most favorites or if it's tied. So for anyone that was at the Camo retreat, gosh, I want to say that was like 2017. Could have been 2018. That one has topped my retreats of all time. I've been doing retreats probably, so for sure since I was pregnant with Kira, if not before. So it's at least 19 years, but I'm thinking 20, 21 years. It's been a really long time, but I have so much fun with them. I think over all of those years, we only missed 2, maybe 3 years, and one of those events ended up being virtual. But no matter what, it's always completely fun because I always like a good theme party. And this bee theme, like seriously, it was meant to be. Every time we turned around or we did something, it ended up being the weekend slogan, maybe mostly for me, but I heard a lot of other people using it. We'd say it was meant to be. For instance, the morning we got there, they set up a beverage station and they actually put out this huge beehive water dispenser. Like, seriously, and I said to her, did you guys just do that because of our theme? She's like, no, we've had this for years. And so it was just meant to be that it like matched our decor. It was so amazing. I will end up posting some pictures. I just have to sort through them and just get some permission for some of the releases of the photo, but it was so much fun. We are booked to go again in November. So November 6th, 7th, and 8th. I'm going to do a post in the Heart Stampers group to kind of give them first dibs. But I want you to know that there is another retreat that same weekend. They did block me the same amount of rooms this time. So I still have rooms blocked, but people were booking on the weekend. And so I think there's only maybe 5 rooms left. I have to double check. I need to have a call with her. But if you're thinking that you're going to be able to come in November with us, let me know. Just send me a text. I'll add you to my list to make sure that I send you the registration form as soon as I have it built. I just haven't been back yet and had time to sit and do it. But people have already called and booked their massages because on the site there's actually a spa, which was super cool. They also had an outdoor hot tub, but I don't think it'll be open in November unless the temperature is less than -15. So I guess that's a possibility, but it's outdoors and it was fun. The ladies used it. But the best part, I think, was just kind of the old country feel of the area. And it had wood plank sidewalk that took you around the whole place. To the restaurants, to the bakery, to the shops. There's so much to do. In fact, I realized I think I probably spent more time outside in all those stores than I did inside scrapbooking, which could be a bad thing for some people, but it was just such a cute place and it was a great experience. And just kept saying it was meant to be because funny enough, and I can't show you because this camera doesn't let me show you me, but I bought a sweater from one of the stores that I've been looking for literally probably, well, since December. So I guess only 3 months. It just seems longer than that. But I found a sweater there and I wore it today with my shirt and it was meant to be. Like, I just can't begin to tell you how amazing it was. Oh, hey, Joy, welcome. Oh, it was at Pigeon Lake. And so it was wonderful because the whole event was actually on the main floor in the main hotel. Although that isn't going to be the case next time unless I can get it changed. We're over in a smaller room, sadly, for this time. But I'm trying to also book next April. We'll see how that goes. But I'm just looking forward to doing it again and seeing what comes up. Anyways, all that to say, that was amazing. And thank you again to everyone who came. And eventually I'll post projects too so you can see. But I am going to use the stamp set. This is what we featured on the weekend, but we're going to use that tonight as well. Just to make some cute projects. And then Storybook Life as well. So this one right now is in the scrapbooking brochure, but the new catalog that comes out in May for customers will have all the scrapbooking lines in it. Although I don't think this was one of them. So if you think this is cute, you might want to grab this before it's gone. Then I've decided I want to do rainbow colors. I usually do every March. I'll do some rainbow projects. Whoops, I forgot this one. I've chosen a lighter shade. It's almost like pastel-y, but not pastel-y for my rainbow colors this year. We've got Poppy Parade, Calypso Coral, Lemon Lolly, Lemon Lime Twist, Pool Party, and Fresh Freesia. I don't know. It's just a color combo that I really like. I don't know if you guys are more into the really deep brights or maybe darker shades. Let me know what kind of rainbow colors you guys like. Do you like the soft subtles, the brights, the regals, or the neutrals? Might have to try all of those eventually, but Nah, probably not. I'm just playing with these this week. Hey, Deborah, welcome. But I pulled out the paper. Paper is a little bit darker, but we'll see what we end up going with. And we'll play with some white as well. I'm also going to try and pull out some sponges because I want to test some mats. I bought the linked together, and the bundle came with the decorative masks. And this particular product suite was made so that it wasn't reliant on each other. All the pieces could be used separately or with the product line, which was linked together. So I'm going to see how we can use those masks. As you can see, I haven't opened them yet, to make something cute and fun. Okay, you guys ready to craft? Hope so. Okay, so we have here the mini cut and emboss machine. And what else? Oh, and I should say, by sharing your rainbow color family that you prefer rainbows with, that's what we're going to use to enter your name in a draw for tonight. Not too sure what that is. Probably just the projects, unless I can see something else around me. You just never know. Okay, it looks like I grabbed the embossing plate. Rather than the cutting plate. So let's change that up. And I've got the cutting plate here. And apparently my white is still isn't unpacked. So I took yesterday off so I could put away all of my retreat stuff. Sadly, I only got 2 boxes, and I got 1 laundry basket unpacked, but the box with all my paper still needs to get unpacked. So we're just going to use some straps. So just ignore it. There is something on the other side. I print on white cardstock sometimes, but then end up not needing it. But I don't want to waste it because it's good quality cardstock. Ooh, I also have something else to show too. Let me just grab the die. Now, I don't want to be like a, what do you call the people who like complain all the time? I don't want to be one of those people. This, I believe, is actual white cardstock, but it's the newer version. It's not what we had years ago. And it just feels different. It's not the same. It doesn't go through, the printer the same. The heat curls the paper, and I really hate it because it never used to. The quality of Stampin' Up! Paper was so amazing years ago, but in the last couple of years, they've switched it, and I'm not a fan. But this is the cardstock that I get when I order the 8.5 by 11 pack. Now, I've also recently cut some of this paper out of the white willow card stock. But what I'm noticing, let me see if I have one handy here. What I'm noticing, I love the white willow cardstock. Let me just start by saying I do love it for scrapbooking, using it as background pieces. It's amazing. I don't know if you can see this. No, it's kind of rubbed off, but it's picked up. Yeah, it's different paper. But the white willow picks up every piece of dirt and paper fiber from the cutting plates. I've never had that in all my years where I couldn't use like really well used plates to cut my paper, like my white paper. It's never affected it. And so that's how I know there was lots of good research and development that went into the original cardstock that we've recently had with the improvements over the years. Because now this, when I run it through, it looks dirty. It's not as easy to see, I don't think, online. But it picked up everything on my plate. So now I have to make sure I go get new plates. And I'm just really sad. I'm sad that white paper, because I think that is the paper that we're getting in the new catalog. I have to go and read that and just double check. Hey Amy, welcome. Hey Sherry, yeah, you're saying you hear static on your end? Ooh, it might be yours. I don't know. Does anyone else hear static? I don't hear anything, but it could have been that I was rolling the machine. But you're saying it happens to you too. Yeah, like it's just so weird. I don't understand why there's such difference quality in paper, and I just don't know if people just didn't test it or what. Anyways, okay, we're gonna start off with the first thing being rainbows. And so I love making rainbows with my markers, especially if there's not a rainbow set that I love. So right now there's no rainbow set in the catalog that I'm in love with that I had to have. I think that there is one that's kind of folk arty. I could be wrong, but I don't own it. And so I have to come up with different ways to make rainbows. There is a new rainbow set though in the catalog that's coming, FYI. But again, it's not my style. So we'll just continue to make something cute that is my style, and hopefully some of you like it too. So I'm using my blends. I'm making sure I have a surface under me, but I have to get better at using my glass mat. We had this out for a fun craft. Oh my gosh. I have to tell you guys, I came up with another technique. I was so proud of myself. It was called the honey dipper dance. And it was a fun technique where we used a honey pot and we used honey dippers and we made a fun background for cards. Hopefully soon I'll share the project. But in the end, here's kind of what the background looked like. It was so cool. Anyways, we needed the glass mat for that. So I pulled it out, got used to using it. And I'm like, why do I not pull it out? I always had it on the side more for photos, but I have to use it more. And I'll tell you the main reason is my blends tend to shed a lot. And when I say shed, and shedding is not the right word. Maybe you guys can help me with the word. But my brush end, like, shreds. I'm just trying to see what I just did. I just pulled out a new one, and I tossed my old one. I just don't know where the heck I tossed it to. No, it's not that one. But anyways, they fray up. And I'm pretty sure that that's from doing, because I always use a cardboard underneath my ribbon, or I use a cardboard when I'm doing this. So instead I'm using this glass mat, and what I'm doing is just starting off my paper, or starting off my paper and ending off my paper. And I'm just going a little bit from the top, but I'm trying to stay close to the top, and I'm pressing down. I'm noticing my pressure that I'm doing for the thickness, because you see this brush goes from thin to thick, and depending on how much pressure or how low you have it will depend how thick that goes. So I'm just going to leave some white space again. I'm going to try to have the same angle, same brush. I'm trying my best. It's not going to be perfect because it's hand drawn. But I'm just making rainbow lines. That is what I'm doing. And so do you guys all remember Roy G. Biv? This is how I came up with my color combo. Dun, dun, dun. And lastly, fresh freesia, although this color doesn't really go. I feel like I need the darker one, but we're adding it. It looks too neon for my liking. But isn't that fun? I think that's fun. Now before I start, I just got to wipe this just to make sure I don't get that on my project. I did that with a damp cloth, but then I have a dry cloth just to dry it up. Okay, then I'm going to stamp some words. I really like this big smiles that's in here. So we're going to use that with some black tuxedo black. And now I went too far down, so I don't know how this is going to look, but whatever. Let's test it. I probably should have went smaller and put them closer together. I was hoping for more white space at the end. We'll see if I like this. It shouldn't really matter, but we'll see. But that's cute, hey? I'm sure we'll give someone some big smiles. We're going to do a few things here. One of them, I need a basic black normal marker, not a blend, a marker. And I think we need to kind of add a little splash to this. I like to doodle. We were talking about this in Craft Room Cleanup, that I kind of did a search of crafting trends for 2025, and doodling was one of them. And in fact, Spoiler alert, inside the new catalog, there are a lot of doodled stamp sets, as well as hand sketching. So I think maybe ChatGPT knew what it was talking about. Okay, so what I want to do is a bunch of dashes, and I'm just going to do them on the white spaces. So just above the line. I'm just hand doing it. Oh yeah, and there's a journaling marker set, a set of 3. So it's got a finer tip than this. You have no idea how excited I am because this is too thick. I really should be using one of my other pens, but it's okay. It's what I have. So we're just doing hand stitching. Doesn't matter. It's your own hand. If it's crooked, if it's straight, it just adds a little bit of extra element to the project, taking away from just the color focus. Now you might not like the black. I'm just a big fan of color and black. Oh, and that's all I need. So that's kind of cute, right? And then before I show you the other thing, let's use some of this ribbon. Who has a lot of this fresh freesia ribbon? That was a freebie as part of celebrations. I stocked up on it, and I'm so glad I did because it's such an amazing color. It is really staticky. This is still really staticky. In fact, I really should, you know what, I'm going to. You can take a bounce sheet if you have a bounce sheet, but I'm actually going to take my embossing buddy. Look at this. I have an OG embossing buddy, like literally 22 years old. The OG. Well, assuming that they made it 22 years ago, but I got it either when I started or when it came out, and it's still not original packaging. So we'll just say, oh, 2002. They had the date on it. That was a long time ago. That's crazy. So then I had it 22 years because I would have got it with my starter kit, which wasn't 2002. It would have been, Riley was not even 1 yet. So it would have been 2003 when I got my kit. That's crazy. And I only remember that because I was hauling him everywhere, to meetings, to offices. It was funny. I'd have my neighbor babysit him so I could do Stampin' Up! Parties. Gosh, back in the day. Okay, looks like, Kim, yeah, you got lots of this ribbon. Good. I love it. I don't know, it's seam binding. It's so pliable. It's used for so much. And if you're a sewer, you can use it for that too. Make some dresses, have some pretty fresh freesia, make some bonnets with ribbons. Although it's not the silk ribbon, but it works, right? Okay. There we go. So I just took about 12 inches. I could like actually double check. Well, not bad. Okay, it's more like 14 inches. And cut the ribbon in half just because I like the shabby look. You don't have to cut it in half if you don't want to. But does anyone recognize this die? What's the die? Now don't forget to put your favorite rainbow color in for a chance to win a prize. Okay. Now this die is actually still available, but you have to be a Paper Pumpkin subscriber to get it, or played bingo with me because I gave this away as a few prizes. Stampin' Bingo. Okay. So here we go. Look at it, it's starting to look super cute, hey? But I think it'll be cuter with a bee. Cuter with the bee. So let's do meant to be. I'm going to be good, and I'm going to put my stamps away. I have to try and help the cause getting this place in order. I at least got my stamp cases set up. I don't have my stamps in it yet, but I got my blend cases put back together, and my blends all put away, so we're making progress. Now, I think I want to do the big bee, not the small bee. Maybe we'll end up doing both, actually, and we'll see which one we like better. So in this meant to be, which is similar to the Valentine's set that we had. I don't have that out, but it coordinates, which is nice, but it's completely different and it has cute stuff. Oh yeah, I don't know why I'm putting it away, but we're going to use Lemon Lolly. Oh, except I didn't pull that ink pad out. Hopefully it's not far away. I ended up packing my ink pads in a clear bin. Oh my gosh, can I just say that was the best decision ever? Because I could see the ink pads I was looking for, and then I'm not like getting frustrated because I know exactly where they are. Highly recommend transporting your ink pads in a clear bin. Okay, I'm using Lemon Lolly to make my bee butts. I don't know what else to call it. Bee body, I guess. Bee body. Now, I don't know if I gave myself enough room for that. I guess we'll find out. Okay. Now we need the little stinger. The stripes and stinger, and we need our black ink back. Oops, let's not get that dirty. Tap, tap, tap. Tap, tap, tap. Now we're going to try bees in 2 different ways and we'll see which one we like better. Now the key to lining up the butt is I always start at the back to try and line up the stinger. Oops, don't know if you can see that. The stinger with whichever side of the bee body I want to put it on. So depending on what direction you want the face, that depends which direction you end up stamping. So you do have to think about that a little bit before you start stamping with it. So I want to line up the back, but I also want to line up the stripes to not go over the bottom, if that makes sense. So I'm actually trying to line this up in 2 spots the best I can. I'm never getting this perfect, so I know if you do, good on you. But you can get it pretty close enough so that it works, right? Okay, now, whoops. This is the small one, so I don't actually want to do it again. I don't want to waste it, so I'm going to stamp it over here in case I make another bee. But I want this big one. I'm trying to clean as I go. Okay. Doo, doo, doo. And squish, squish, tap, tap, squish, squish, tap, tap. And now I'm going to try this bee the other way, just because I'm not too sure which way I really want the bee, except you know what? I did not. I guess it doesn't matter. I'll do them this way. It all depends which way I put the face. That's what's going to matter. So I guess I'm sitting here telling you it matters by doing the buzz part, but it doesn't. It's not until you put the face that it matters which direction it goes. So you can go ahead, stamp all the bees you want like that. And then we're going to cut them out. But guess what? There's dies that go with that. You don't have to do that by hand. Yippee! Okay. So again, because I got a big bee, there's this big wings and there's small wings. Okay. Let me see if I've got another. I need another block. There's one. Okay, and I see I didn't clean this one. Not that it matters. It's going to be pull party anyways. Okay. Actually, here's a smaller block. Always use a block that's closest in size to the dies that you're using. We're going to add some wings. Now, we're not adding the wings to the bee. We're adding them separate because they will be a separate cutout. And so I'm just going to do that. And now that is ready to go. So let's bring back the cut and emboss machine. Okay. I just realized I don't have the dies over there, so let's find the dies. There they are. You know what? This is the best bundle. And I'm saying that because check out these dies. Not only do you have the bee cutouts for the stamp, but check out those hexagons. Oh my gosh. Annette made the most beautiful scrapbook page using all the hexagons. It was gorgeous. Plus you can do all kinds of fun things. You have lots of daisies. Oh, we need antennas. I didn't stamp those. We need those too. Oh, see, I guess I just needed to take a look at what we were doing. Now, the face, like I said, I'm going to wait to add the face until after we apply it, or I figure out which bee is going to fit better. Let's just get a couple of antennas in there because I don't have any pre-made. So remember, don't squish it. Twist, twist, tap, tap. Twist, twist, dab, dab. And then I'm stamping 2 of those. Well, in fact, you know what? I'm going to stamp a third because they're so little. Sometimes I make mistakes. So let's just stamp 4, and then we got ourselves covered and we won't have to stamp again. Does anyone else do that? I just find I have to because I'm constantly, you know, and it's because I don't use washi tape. Oh, guess what, you guys? Another spoiler? You guys want a spoiler? There is a washi tape in there. I don't know if there's more than one, but I saw one. And it's pretty cool. Okay. So we have our pieces. Now it's time to cut out our bees. So we're going to cut out that bee. I'm going to try and do it at once. I might be silly because it's probably easier if I was using the big machine, but I'm using a little machine. And then we've got our wings, our small wings. And they just line up. Those little pointy things go in the center. Whoops. See, now I'm making a mess. Oh man. Okay, let's pull that out. I might have to use some washi tape. I might have to suck it up because I didn't stamp multiple bees. Okay, we got that. We got that. And we have our little antennas, which they give us two at a time to play with, which helps with the cutout. And then I just need my top plate to cut them all out with. Let's be brave. None of them really moved on me, but I'm holding this all down now. Oh, look. Shoot, and now it moved because I turned it. Why did I do that? Oh. Okay. It came out the side. I just don't want to use washi tape. I'm being stubborn. I don't craft like that. But probably because I'm on a live, probably like, you got to. Oh, see? It is moving on me. Come on. And it's just this one bee right in the center. Okay, that's close enough. I think. It's not close enough. Yeah, it's close enough. It's because it's bent in the middle, you know, from going through. That's why you should always, like, flip-flop your cutter. But I think we did a pretty good job. Whew. I know that was probably torture for some of you who are like, just use washi tape. But you guys, I just can't. It drives me nuts. I'd rather, you know, a non-perfect bee than fussing with washi tape. I know, I'm weird. Okay, now I also didn't pay attention to how I took these off my sheet. Okay. Putting the dies back so that we don't lose them. We have all our pieces. I guess who would have thought this was a die building class? Okay, this, and we need our pokey tool to get our little antennas out. Okay, these might not be perfect. I could have done better. Oh, that one's actually pretty good. It's this one that slipped. But you know what? It's doable. I think it's fine. Okay, now let's put our bees together. I actually do use the multi-purpose glue. Okay, before I do though, let's see which direction. Oh yeah. Do we want the bee this direction? Facing that way? Facing this way or facing this way? Facing left or facing right? And I think that the large bee is going to be a whole lot better than the little bee, in my opinion. But maybe you guys can let me know. Big bee, little bee. And so while you guys are posting that in the comments, let me know, right or left, right? No, left or right, big or small. Okay, so what I'm doing first is I'm putting the little wings on, whoops, on this guy. And I also need to give you a little insight. Now, I'm just going to plop them like this. I like to put them on a little bit of a tilt, but you can do anything you want. Now, I haven't unpacked my punches, but the bee punch that went with the original stamp set has hearts in it, right? Well, the big heart is actually designed to go behind the wings. So if you wanted a solid background, that heart would fit behind this one. I think it only works on the small, but it might work on the big one too. I haven't actually tested that out yet. Okay, so there is our wings on our small bee. We're also putting our antenna on there, and we're gonna put them, I don't know, go like that. And we're gonna do the same with this. I'm just tapping a little bit of glue on the bottom. Okay, and then, oh yeah, see, it matters which direction based on how I put the wings on too. So I see a lot of people, or a few people saying left, so let's do this on to the left. Facing left. So I'll add that on. Again, we're going to add the little antenna. And just like that, our bee is built. Now all what's left is decide on the emotion of our bumblebee. Now, I really want the happy face, big smiles. But do we want eyes open or eyes closed? Because they both have big smiles. I'm going to guess that you're going to tell me eyes closed, but I could be wrong. I will change it if you tell me. Oh, Dipper says open. Kim says open. Okay, we're going open. Okay. So squish, squish, tap, tap. And all I'm doing is put in the happy face. Okay, just wait. Let me get them both in there so you can see both. Oh my gosh, I love this so much. We got Mama Bee, Baby Bee with smiles. But that's not all. We got add a little bit of rosy cheeks. So let's just take our blend that we were using and let's just tap, tap, tap. This is the light Calypso Coral. I might wish that I was using Petal Pink. In fact, you know what? Before I try that. I'm going to use a lighter one. Let's use dark petal pink just to add a little bit of blush to make it extra cuter. And all I'm doing is tapping in circles. 3 of them. Maybe more. This big one's needing a little bit more. I'm trying to put it where the dimples would be. So let me show you what that looks like. Extra cute, right? And in fact, if you're an artist, you can go all out and do freckles, but I will just mess it up, so I'm not going to do freckles. But I am going to add dimensionals to pop these bees up. So the big one I'll use 2. The little one, maybe I'll use 2 too. Okay, we'll use it on some other one. But yes, I like the idea of the big one. The bee is smiling, big smiles like this. And then the little dashes almost look like it's like, you know, the bee stitching for the flight. I mean, it's not really, but it kind of gives you that vibe. Is that cute? Here's one that I pre-did going the other direction, just so you can kind of see. And I also did not add the black stitching. So do you guys like it with the stitching, without the stitching? I don't know. Let me know which one's your favorite. While you're doing that, I want to show you another technique that I'm actually sharing at Stamp Camp. So if you guys are going this weekend on Saturday, you're going to hear this twice. But with the marker, I love having the black marker to help me with my black ink. Now, whatever it is I just did with you guys, I don't know why I inked that so well. It's pretty fulsome. Like, there's not much touch-up that I need to do. But on this one, it's not. I must have used a different ink pad. This one must be one I freshly inked. But what you're going to do is you can go ahead and just use your marker and like try and fill it in. Now, depending how thick it is, this is proving to be more of a challenge because it's actually pretty thick. So I'm actually going to use my brush tip. I'm going to go really slow. And I'm just going to color it in. This is going to help make that black pop. Now, I may regret this. I may have wished the softer version was there. Now, for the cheeks, we actually did a cotton swab, cute, soft cheek on these bees. And that's what I was testing on this particular bee that I had pre-done. I'll show you it when I'm done this here in a sec. That's another way. So depending on the look you're trying to achieve with your bees, if you want bold and bright or if you want soft and, you know, subtle, no pun intended. Look, some of that fiber from that ribbon getting stuck on there. And then if you get to a point that you have to pull out, you know, maybe you're too close to the edge and you don't trust yourself, then pull out that fine tip to kind of just tap it in. I'm just going to try and get there. And then the little antennas could be filled in a little bit more. But there, that completely darkened it up. So that's a tip to kind of use your black marker to help you fill in any gaps with that. Oh, cute. Okay, yeah, so there's a mix. Some people love the extra black, some don't. So, and that's good. Like, that's why we all have different crafting styles. So anyways, that is one rainbow. I hope you guys like the use of markers. Now, I use blends. You could use your Stampin' Write markers by all means, but that's all we're going to do with the markers because now I want to try a different rainbow. And in fact, just wait, maybe I want to do, yeah, just wait, maybe I want to do another technique. I'll jump this one to the beginning. So where's my paper? Where is my paper? Okay, we are going to cut some strips. Now, did you know that you can cut 2 cardstock pieces at once? I know I had someone at the retreat say, oh my gosh, I didn't know that you could do that. Yes, you can cut 2, actually up to 3 pieces of designer series paper, the thin paper, or 2 pieces of cardstock. I don't recommend 3. I do always get stuck on 3. But I'm just going to trim off a 1/2 inch of each of these colors to make kind of rainbow stripes, I guess you could say. This is actually a technique that Stampin' Up! Just posted today. So I was like, oh, this is cool. Let's try this. This isn't one of the other ones I want to show you, but you know what? I think it'll go good with this tag, so let's give it a try. Now, I did say that I cut some extra tags. Actually, I don't want to use the tag first. Sorry. I don't know what I'm doing. We are going to use this white paper. And I did not cut enough off. Okay. Did anyone go drink green beer yesterday? Just curious. Just curious. Okay, I need Stampin' Seal. And I think it's at the other end of the island. Just a sec. Okay. I'm just gonna like just randomly do a strip. Whoops, I did the wrong color first though. I might want to actually start with the red. I'm just gonna put this at the top. Next color of my rainbow. Now I should have measured to make sure these will all go because I think I made them a little too thick, but oh well. Green, blue. This might work, maybe. Maybe. It's just that purple won't be as prominent. Well, I don't even know if this will work. I guess we'll find out. Okay. I'm going to just cut off the ends because I don't want this sticking to anything. We're going to cut off all of that. Now, I probably should have made them a little thick or thinner. I did these all as 1/2 inch. If you're trying this at home, I recommend trying it with a 1/4 of an inch, just based on what I was just doing. It could be more like this, although you'll figure it out. Okay, so then they ended up using like a thick die, and it'll cover and cut some of this. Now, I'm not going to get purple in, so that was kind of a waste, but that's okay. As you can see here, I'm going to get some of this. So let's bring the cutting machine back. This is just another fun way to make rainbows with different dies that you have. So we have a lot of dies that have come where it's like solid background and then it has a die cut out for above. So we're going to use what's in the Be Mine collection to make something. I'm just not going to have the violet. So sad, but that's okay. There we go. So this is, now it doesn't look like it, but this spells out hour. I mean, that would be a good fun game to play. To try and guess, what are the different words that are all bubbly? Hour it is. Okay, so here is the hour. I don't know why I moved that away, but I did. Let's bring that back. Because now we need some black scrap. Here's a piece. And I'm using cardstock, not two-tone paper for this. I love using two-tone. I will use it for everything forever. However, because this word is really fragile, I want to say, because it's so fine, right? I want to use thicker cardstock so that when I pull it out, it doesn't tear on me. Not that the other one will. I haven't tested it, but I just believe that that is what will work best. I mean, we can test it so that you know for sure, but I don't think you need to test it. I think you just know. Okay, and I'm just grabbing some adhesive sheets. Because this is fine, I really don't want to be fussing with fine tip glue pen or anything. It's so much easier for me just to cut a piece of two-way or adhesive sheets. So I'm just gonna pull this out. Look at this, all stuck on my paper, stuck on my hands. I guess that Stampin' Seal is actually really seriously some good adhesive. Okay, so now that I have that on the back, I'm just gonna put our over top in the center, grab my top plate. Now this will be a super cute embellishment for a scrapbook page, or heck, you could even give someone a tag and add it to a card and add a photo in it. You could use the outer layer if you want. I mean, but it really is hard to see what that is. When you see it this way, it might be a little bit easier. Ooh, but after all that, I don't even think we're gonna see the blue. Okay, what did I do with my pokey tool? So here we go. And I'm just gonna peel off the backing. Now I couldn't see the blue because I was using the, oh, what do I wanna call that? The word's not coming to me, but I was using the reverse image. But with this, you'll be able to see it all. Oh, so isn't that cute? Like our hive. So we can go ahead and add this, and then we can cut out hive. Ooh, maybe we could use the rest of that paper. Ooh, we could, instead of black. But then it's not gonna look, oh, but it could. I could put a strip of black paper on there. Okay, so for this, I could totally use that thinner paper, the thinner black, but of course, I don't have any around me, but, oh yeah, I do. Here, we could totally do that. But because I want to make sure I get the stitching, I'm going to want to run through the dark side. Yeah, this is what we're going to do. Let's see how this turns out. Okay, so we got our base plate. We've got our base plate. It's picking up all my scraps. I really should have a little garbage bin next to me. I don't know why I don't. I think it's because I have the recycle bin that's like in arm's reach when I'm crafting normally. But when I'm doing lives, that's too far away to walk. Which doesn't make sense. But I just need to get a little basket. See? All these little tips and tricks that'll help us with our crafting. Because after the live, I could always go and dump it into that container, right? But to me, I'm like, why would I do something twice? That doesn't make sense. Put it beside me. But if I put it beside me in an actual bin, it would be so much more tidier. And it wouldn't stick to everything, right? Right. Okay. So there we go. I've just cut that particular die. And then because I want, oh, see, I shouldn't have put that away. We need to do this. And I need to cut the die with it. Or sorry, the, this thing. I didn't quite cut enough, so I'm actually going to cut a longer sheet. I'm not going to be so stingy with my adhesive sheet. We'll just estimate it to be the same length. And I'll cut that. So remember, I said don't be scared. I reused a printable piece of cardstock. I did not want to waste it. So hopefully there's forgiveness out there for that. Okay, there we go. I'm putting our back over here just so that I don't lose it. We're going to put our hive. Like I said, this can end up on a scrapbook page, or you can add it to a card, add some photos of the fam jam. That'd be cute. But anyways, you guys could try that with some of the other stamp sets. I can't even think what they are. I think Delightful Wishes, I think that might have kind of the dual letters. And there's some birthday or celebration one that does as well. Okay. Here we go. But I want to put this color on black just because I think it needs that extra. So you could use your trimmer, but I'm actually just gonna snip it straight. And I'm snipping it, how much? I guess maybe about that much. I'm just guesstimating. I'm just guesstimating. We'll put this on and then we'll see if we have to take some off. Now, it might go over the edge and that's okay. But see how it just pulls off like a sticker? I absolutely love that. These sticker sheets are the cat's meow. If you don't own any, you need some, believe me. Okay, I'm just sticking out or poking out the little pieces that are in the E and the V. Okay. There we go. Okay. So, and it kind of hangs off over the edge, but you know what? That's okay. I don't think it needs to be perfect. We're going to have it like that, which means I'm going to cut off more of this. I only want as much black as I actually need. And I'm going to go ahead and just mount this like so. So that way it looks like it's part of it. I'm going to go ahead and pop this up actually with dimensionals. In fact, I'm going to use black dimensionals because I can. I find that I rarely use them, so when I have lots of black in my project, I like to pull them in. And then I'm going to just put this a little bit so that there's more white on both parts now. I don't know what that's all about. Maybe there's some pieces white left over. But I'm going to just trim that off. Yeah, it's like it missed some of the pool party, but that's okay. It almost looks like it's on the white thing. But isn't that cute or isn't that cool as a fun way to do rainbows? Like using your dies, using your paper to make that. So, Sherry's like, nay to green beer. That's funny. But anyways, that's another option. And then you can just add maybe some of your black and white gingham ribbon if you have it. You know what? I actually still have some black and white stripe ribbon that Stampin' Up! Has. Did anyone else still have this? I absolutely love this. And in fact, if anyone wants to get rid of their black and white stripe ribbon from Stampin' Up!, let me know. Because it is the thickest twine that I've ever had. I mean, and I have a lot of black and white, like other company pieces, but it's just like baker's twine. This is like thick. I can't explain it. It's just different. But, whoops, that's not what I wanted to do. I actually wanted to tie a knot. What I just did there was a crafter's knot. I'll have to do another class on knots. Maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll do that soon. Okay, I'm just tying a knot. I just wanted kind of like those 4 pieces of ribbon. I know I haven't cut the other half yet. I'm just trying to help to use that to pull it through because it's kind of short. Kind of short. Let's hope I got it all. I'm going to cut that loop now. So all of that should have come through. There we go. And we have a nice knot. And so I'm just going to trim it so that we're all kind of the same length. Okay, so there's a fun tag. How are we doing for time? Because I had one more card. If you guys are good for a half an hour, I'm going to do one more that I had in my mind using some pool party cardstock. Now, again, when you don't have rainbows, you make your own, right? I know a lot of you guys probably do have rainbows. We had a rainbow, what was it called? Rainbows of Happiness? Happiness Rainbows? No, I think it was Rainbow of Happiness, a retreat or a stamp camp that I did with Tiffany a few years ago. So if you still have that stamp set, you might want to give it a try. I'm cutting these down to 3 inches. I don't anticipate what I'm doing is going to be more. You know what, as I'm saying that, I should be cutting them to 4 inches, just in case. So then I cut, what did I say? I cut 3 inches, 4 inches, and that leaves me with 3 1/4 inches. So I've got all kinds of pieces. I guess we're going to just use all of these into rainbow pieces. So I'm going to do the same 3 pieces, or 3 pieces, 3 inches, 4 inches, and I should be left with 3 1/4 inches. And then we got the same 3 inches, 4 1/4 inches, and that should leave me with 3 1/4. Okay, I got lots I can do, but I'm putting these 4-inch ones together just to make sure we're using all the right strips. Okay, perfect. Although, in order to use the small machine, they have to be smaller. No, I don't think this is going to fit. Okay, so all the more reason why we'll have to move to the 3 1/4 inch. Again, this is why you guys learn from my mistakes. What we're doing, ooh, actually, okay, I'm going to try something else. I was going to use circles, but I want to try it with hexagons. But I don't think I can because I don't have the, no, I don't have the big cut machine out yet. Okay, but know that you can do what I'm about to show you with the hexagons. You just need your big cut and emboss machine. What I'm going to use, though, is dies from the Stitched Stylish Shapes dies. So I'm looking for some circles. I seem to be missing one, so I guess I'm just going to do the top 3 since I'm missing missing one of my stitch circles. Where could it be? Okay, so let's hope. Oh, the big one doesn't fit on there. Oh my gosh. Okay, just a sec. I need to cut down. I guess I need to cut down my 4 1/4 one, or sorry, my 4-inch one. To, I think 3 3/4 is what we'll go through here, if I'm not mistaken. So there are limitations to the mini, but it's nice because it's easily transferable. Okay, here we go. So 3 3/4 is the maximum width. And so I'm just putting that on my plate. I'm using my cutting plate. Just making sure they're all going forward. I have to use my gut to push it through. Okay, there we go. I have to bend the paper while doing that, sadly, because I didn't cut it. But that's okay. We've got one circle in large. And now the next size, we're going to cut some Calypso Coral. And actually, just to avoid anything, I'm going to trim this to 3 1/2 because now this is smaller. And 3 1/2 is perfect where it doesn't rub on the sides. It doesn't wreck your paper. 3 1/2 is the ideal, but you can fit 3 3/4 into the machine. Okay. Try and make sure those are all aligned. Send it back through. Oh, in fact, what I'm doing is wrong. Oh my goodness. It's okay. Now that I ran that through, I'm going to put this in. I should have put this in while it was cutting, but I did not. So we're just going to do it after the fact. So I'm using the smaller circle in the big circle, of which I should have done from the beginning, but that's okay. So now I have a cutout like this, and I have a cutout like this. So we're going to do the same with this one, and I'm taking the smaller one, putting it on, cutting it. Now these are layering dies, so I really could have done it at the beginning. See? Did I say this wouldn't go through? Oh no, this will go through. Oh, but it goes through and it just makes this. Okay, so then, oh, I need my other die, but that's okay. We're gonna see if this goes through. Dun, dun, dun. Just trying to see where that other. I'm just gonna trim this to 3.5. You guys know where I'm going with this. I'm just sad that I'm missing that middle die. I have no idea where it is. We were at the retreat this weekend, and so I'm gonna see. One might work the way I need it to. I don't know. Maybe not. So you see how I'm putting them both in right now? This is what I should have done with those first ones. Although they do move, so it might not actually better to, it might be better to do them separately. Try and center them best I can. Hope they don't move. See, that moved when I put it in. Oh, for Pete's sakes. No, I can hear you hollering at me saying, Trisha, just use washi tape. And I'm saying no. Okay. Except I have to push this. The sandwiches aren't sitting nice. Okay. There we go. And so here's some yellow. So we got red, orange, yellow. But what I want to do is I want to cut them. Now ideally, I'm just going to snip them right here and right here. So then I've got two little rainbows. So all a rainbow is circles cut in half, right? See, this one kind of got all yucky. It's not perfect. But let's see how we can fit the yellow one in. It'll fit, but we need to take off some of the parts. It may be a little big, but it's like you're forcing it to fit into the same side. Whereas if I had that other die, it would just nest so nicely. So maybe you have some circle dies you can kind of do that with, right? You get the idea. So I'm just showing you the technique. I'll go through and do some more using the green, the blue, and the fresh freesia, but I'm not going to make you watch me do that right now. But that's going to go on part of my card. The other part is I want to use some card base that is pool party. Oh shoot, you know what? I also wanted to use the adhesive sheets with this. I wonder if this would work. Here, I'm gonna waste one to try and see. Again, I hope this doesn't make anyone cringe, but let me test it so you don't have to. So all I did was peel off the back of the adhesive sheet. And now I'm gonna put that on. I'm gonna put that on. Yay. And then put this on. And then we'll see if I can peel it off nicely. Okay, oops, that one's getting a little funny, but this is the one that doesn't quite fit properly, right? So I might have to give forgiveness for that and have to try and find something else. But in the meantime, I want to do my cards. So I'm looking for my blending brush. That's in pool party color. And we're going to just blend the background really, really good. So I'm just kind of going in circular motion in my ink pad, but then I'm also going to go in a circular motion starting in the center and just going around and around and around. Okay? Around and around and around. Because I kind of want it up in the sky a little bit. So this, I'm just getting a nice inky background. Okay. And then I'm going to use my aqua painter. I like to have just a little acrylic block, just so that I can squish the water out to get it flowing. And then I can always dry that after. But then I can also pick up from there. And you guys have seen this technique. It's rain. It's raining water. So I'm just picking up some of that and I'm just splashing it over top of the ink that I've just inked onto my card base. So we're going to let that absorb in and dry. I don't know why I'm doing a similar card. This is kind of what I'm doing. You guys are getting a little sneak peek. You're going to want to sign up for the next stamp camp, because this is kind of the technique that I'm showing there. But I wanted to show you, I wanted to pull in some hearts. And so specifically, there were these fun hearts in the Friends for Life dies. You see that? And they're attached. Now, I don't have any clouds. So I thought, well, what could be just as good as clouds? And I think we will make heart clouds instead of real clouds, because you know our cloud punch is discontinued. A lot of you probably have it, right? And it's just fun to make spring cards that are rainbow. And in fact, I want to throw a challenge out to all of you. I want you to make some sort of rainbow card, whether it's with markers, it's with paper, whether it's with rainbow stamps. I don't have rainbow stamps, otherwise I'd show you with rainbow stamps. But check that out. I'm also just looking to see if I have like a different heart punch. But I don't. Oh, but you know what? Although I think these are too big. This is the Hearts of Elegance stamp set or die set. I think a lot of you guys have it. Except I need to pull it out and I can't. There's like the smallest die in here. It looks pretty big. It's almost like it's 2 inches. I think that might even be too big, but we can add it in. We can add that in with these. This just isn't dry yet. While that's drying, just going to set this aside. Why, but looks like someone used my pool party in green, or maybe I'm using the wrong brush. Oh shit, Steph, I'm using the wrong brush. Doesn't that look green? It's probably Summer Splash is what I'm thinking, because it's definitely more green. Now I could get out my air tool, but I'm not. Now these all have stitch dies. The other thing is you can use your punches too, right? To make the different sizes. Now, my punches are all kind of packed away still, but let's see if this one, does that one fit in there? Not really, it's too big. And this one's too small. I need to find that die. That's weird that that went missing. I have not, and I've cleaned the space a lot since that came about. The other thing is because I've cleared, like I've took the adhesive off there, I have to be careful because it's sticking to everything. So let me start adding this other rainbow piece. But it would look cool, hey? I'm trying to think what other project I might have used that die for. Maybe it's stuck in a bin somewhere. But you know what? We can just layer. Layering it works too. That's cute. Okay. So while that's layering, that's still drying. I think I can still peel this off though. Now I'm going to have to peel them off separately because they are all separate. It's not going to come off as one sticker, I don't think. Oh, maybe. Oh, look at that. It did. Okay. It kind of did, but I want to snip it to make sure that it's all aligned. Ooh, boom. Yeah, see, be careful. Adhesive everywhere. Oh. Ah. I just want to cry. Okay. I'm putting that like that. And you know what? Oh, here's my yellow one that was on there. Maybe I didn't get it on there. I'm just going to put it on and then peel it and hope that some adhesive came off with it. Yay, it did. And then I'm going to layer it here. And you know what? We can hide and cover some of that. I'm going to put a word at the bottom there. And in fact, we're going to use the patterns of friendship. And then I'll have a sample to share on Saturday using that. But I'll just add in some green first. But I want, okay, it looks like the top's dry now. I want to add in some hearts as clouds. So, you know, we're going to use these little ones kind of at the bottom of the rainbow. Does that make sense? No, it's not. That's going to be covered. Okay. Now, I probably should be using washi tape. And hear some of you say, washi tape. But it's just to kind of give it a faded heart look. And you'll see here when I show you what ended up coming. What ends up coming out of it. That one I'm definitely going to need some washi tape for. Let me try the bigger one. I'm holding that side. Ah, except I moved it. Because I moved it, it's not coming out as good. I'm going to try and turn this the other way. I'm trying to overlap the clouds. I mean, it's a fun technique and it works. I just need to figure out how to do it without moving it. But as you can see, washi tape would also get in the way. So I don't know if you can see that. There's like floating hearts everywhere along with the water splashes. Is that not fun? I think that's a super cute technique. So don't forget, you can use your dies as stencils. Don't forget, you can make clouds out of things that aren't clouds, just to give it a cute shape. Or I'm sure you have some cloud dies, I just don't, to have it kind of off in the background. So I'll finish this card with my patterns of friendship. Oh, you know what? I still got 10 minutes until 9:30. I seem to be pushing it this long. Why don't I keep going? Let me just grab the stamp set. Because I've been wanting to use this saying, and I haven't used it yet. But this is the pattern of friendship stamp set. You bring so much joy and laughter to my life. This is what is so cute that I've been wanting to use. So this is the perfect opportunity to do that. Now I'm going to do it on white cardstock and with black ink. So tap, 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 twist, twist, dab, 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 dab. Now I need to dab it because these thick letters need to get fully inked. And in fact, what's funny is it's picking up the impression of the foam or the, yeah, like the stamp pad. I don't know if you can see that it's kind of like bubbly, but there's nothing I can do about that because it's just it's what it looks like. And then we're going to grab some white paper. See if I can find a smaller piece. I'm just going to stamp that like so. Equal pressure. Voila! And then let's just see, since I have the stylish shapes out. Oops. There's this one. Does it fit? Oh, it doesn't really fit. Okay, that's sad. That's really sad. So I guess I am cutting it out. I'm just running it through the paper trimmer. Sorry, you know, I'm pretty sure all of you know how to use a paper trimmer. Although I'm going kind of crooked. So it's leaving me with something like this. Right? Like, doesn't that look super cute? I do want to add in some green and blue, though, to cover it. And I need to find something to do with the ends. So you know what? Let's use this punch. I forget the name of it, but it has those cute little pokey things at the end. And because this is so small, I can easily tuck this in. And then just try my best to center it. And I'm going to use those bubble letters as my guide. And just like that, I have a fun little end for my tag, I guess you can call it. So I'm just going to put that in. Again, line up that point with the bubble letter. Try and make it as straight as possible. And there. And then that way, that'll cover, you know, kind of my bad, poorly done rainbow, but I'll fix that up and I'll post pictures in our group. But at least you saw the technique and you kind of saw what this looked like and got the little tip for using your dies. So hopefully there's some inspiration there. I hope you like the heart clouds. I think they're wicked. I'm glad they turned out. I am happy because they're just faded. So it's like extra in the sky. So we've got that. We've got our hive as a different way to add rainbows. And then, of course, we have our big smiles, which I think all would bring someone a little bit more happiness with rainbows. So I hope you like those different ways when you don't have a rainbow stamp set. It is something different. And like I said, I challenge you to make a card. I'm gonna give away a sampler of rainbow color paper. It's just a sampler, nothing big, but I think it'll be fun. And of course, I'll throw in a fun rainbow card. But take the challenge, post your photos in this video. That would be awesome for everyone to see. Or in this video, or when I post the pictures. Actually, it might be easier to see in the pictures, because then that way, if the video disappears, your cards don't disappear. But I should have them all posted tomorrow, by tomorrow night at the latest. Okay, thanks everyone. Have yourself a great week. And as always, ask me any questions. But know that you guys are my heart stampers. And I thank you so much for joining me. Bye for now.